It's been an amazing year for Trixie Mattel, the living doll who won the hearts of children of all ages when she made her appearance on Cooking with Drag Queens. Oh, and RuPaul's Drag Race.
Trixie's career has exploded. She's traveling the world from Australia to Berlin, running into celebrities, and even fans painted up as herself. Today, Trixie Mattel joins us from her new home in West Hollywood to talk about her adventures on the road, managing her merchandise, and her new one-woman show, Trixie Mattel, ages 3 and up.
Listen as we talk about people losing their shit and getting kicked off of airplanes.
Her close friendships with Trannika, Chi and Katya Zamolochikova.
Season 2 of Cooking with Drag Queens is having a bake sale.
Plus, questions from you. Don't miss this show. It's delicious.
I'm Fausto Fernos.
I'm Mark Fillion.
And this is Feast of Fun.
Cooking with Drag Queens is a hit, with 2 more episodes to go, featuring the legendary Lady Bunny, who inspired the whole series with her 80s camp cooking video, Strawberry Shortcut, and everyone's favorite Russian mail-order bride from RuPaul's Drag Race, Katya Zamolochikova. We are wrapping up Season 1, but because we know you're hungry for seconds, let the Season 2 Kickstarter commence. Please take a moment and check out the video on our Kickstarter page, kickstarter.com/profile/Feast of Fun.
Hello, Trixie Mattel.
Hi, Trixie Mattel. This is Fausto.
And Mark from Feast of Fun, how you doing?
What a surprise.
Hi, darling.
So good.
Did we catch you off guard?
Thank you for calling me, you guys.
Why do you answer the phone, Trixie Mattel?
Because that's my Christian God-given name.
Is that the name you're going to change if somebody pressures you legally to do so?
Yeah, pretty much. I also could do Tina Maraschino, Tallulah Martin, just anything TM. Tobey Maguire.
Where are we talking to you right now? Because you no longer live in Wisconsin.
Yes, I am in my beautiful home in West Hollywood, California, right in the heart of entertainment and culture.
That's like the gayest neighborhood in the world.
It's the gayest. Not only is it the gayest, I am literally the fattest, ugliest, poorest, least famous person on my whole block. It is very humbling.
What do you mean? What do you mean you're the least famous person on your block? Who lives on your block?
No, just like every other house in my all the houses in my neighborhood, including the one I live in, I got a really good deal. The houses are all just like beautiful and gated, and everyone has like big fake lips, and it's just glamorous.
You've heard of the Freshman 15, right?
Yeah.
Is that true? I heard that Sharon Needles was the one that told me about this, that when drag queens get on RuPaul's Drag Race, they gain 15 pounds.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I think I've definitely because you think about it, you don't sleep correctly, and you spend all day seated on a plane. So like, that's not a good way to live your life. So it's really hard. I think I've exchanged muscle for some fat, but I probably the same weight.
I heard that you do a little bit of like yoga in the airplane in order to stay in shape.
I sometimes do. I also take my tap shoes with me everywhere, and when I'm in different cities, if I have time off, I find the local dance studio and I go to a tap class.
Aw. Well, dancing is one of the best ways to stay in shape. You know, you look at those older dancers like Madonna, 56 and looking fierce. Cheetah Rivera is like 80 and still hoofs it.
Oh, yeah. Look at Kennedy. Look at Kennedy Davenport. She's like 100, and she can do like backflips and splits.
Ever since we taped our Cooking with Drag Queens with Katya, she taught me how to train myself to do the splits in order to bang my pussy onto the floor. Have you tried doing that? Well, that's her thing. Have you ever tried doing that? I can imagine it's a lot of fun.
No, God, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do a death drop. I can't even do a tongue pop. I'm literally not even a drag queen.
You're an imposter.
I feel your pain.
Absolutely, I'm an imposter.
I can't do the tongue pop.
That's her thing.
No, but I mean, it seems like if you could add that to your arsenal, you would, right?
If had I been able to do the splits, maybe I could have won a single lip sync on RuPaul's Drag Race.
No, but it's like the thing about it is that if you just stretch every day, like several times a day, you'll finally, like after a year, if you had started stretching when you got on Drag Race a year ago, you would be able to bang your pussy on the stage now. When
I was in school for dance, they were like, I started dance late in life because I was more of a singer, actor, dancer. But they were like, you need to, if you stretch every day, you'll get it. And I'm just like, well, I'm not going to do that. But
Now, it's been a year since you got on that show that's so popular for drag queens that made such a big difference in their lives, and that is Cooking with Drag Queens.
Yeah, such an honor.
Right now, on our website and on Kickstarter, we have our Kickstarter for season 2 of Cooking with Drag Queens.
Oh, super cool. Everybody has to go donate it to it. If you guys, anybody who's listening, if you have time, my episode of Cooking with Drag Queens is amazing. Not only did we make pad thai, which turned out to, that was my first time having it. It's now one of my favorite foods. But we also have footage from when the cast was announced and I was in my home bar, like crying with my friends. So go watch it.
Was it one of the most emotional moments for you in the past year?
Probably. Yeah, probably. Actually, no, when I found out I was on Drag Race, I mean, that was like the most intense emotion I've ever felt.
Because you realized that so much in your life was going to change. And it did. And now you moved from a cold little town in Wisconsin to sunny Los Angeles. And you're wearing sunglasses.
I knew in that moment. Yeah, I wear heart sunglasses all the time.
You've changed, Trixie, for the better.
I knew that in that moment, I was given the golden ticket opportunity to have my dreams crushed on television twice.
So, Trixie, you're working on a show right now, a one-woman show.
I am a one doll, one man, one woman, I guess, whatever I am, one Muppet show, I guess. It's called Trixie Mattel, ages 3 and up, and I've been getting to travel the whole world and spend a lot of time alone, and it's basically going to be like part stand-up, part drinking game, part audience participation, and it's great. We cover all the topics. So it's called ages 3 and up because obviously I'm a living boy, but also because it talks about points in my life from ages like 3 to now. And we talk about all the important things. I mean, when I'm writing it, I was just like, well, what do I want to talk about? And I just started doing it. And I mean, it covers the important stuff. Peeing in the shower, grinders, serial killers.
Well, you grew up in a Native American reservation, right?
I grew up off a reservation, yeah. These are the misadventures of my life that ended up creating what you see before you. And it kind of, it's kind of a story. It's not really a story. It's not a narrative as much as it's basically stand up with a point to it. So it's kind of jokes about this is all the things that happened to you and how shitty they are, but this is your product of who you are now, you know.
Didn't you, as a young girl, talk to an old oak tree and then get seduced by a blonde conquistador?
Oh, yeah, I wish, right? I always say of my grandma, I'm like, when you die, can you just be a tree? That would be really good for me. Like a sassy tree.
Well, when you said, can you paint with all the colors of the wind, you took that literally and took a shit all over your face.
It's exactly that, yeah. I used to do Colors of the Wind, and I used to have a guy in the audience sitting there with a wig on under a hat with paint under it. So then I would pretend to scalp him, and I would take the paint on my face and rub it through my face.
Is this part of your one-woman show?
It is not. It is something, but I mean, it didn't quite make it in.
It's a horror story.
Exactly. So it's things I think are funny mixed with things I think are pertinent, you know, mixed with things that happened to me. So, I mean, I'm from Wisconsin, so, you know, we talked about some serial killers. We talk about abortions, everything you can't say that's okay to say when it's coming out of a sock puppet looking idiot like me.
I think we have a better title than ages 3 and up is Trixie Mattel, serial killers and abortions.
See, that's easy to understand. Yeah. At first I was going to call it Trixie Mattel, not funny. And then I was like, well, maybe I need to be more positive.
That title belongs to Pandora Box.
Oh, damn it. There was a queen. There's Dina Martina. Do you know who that is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's hilarious. Yeah.
Legendary. She was doing a show in P-Town this year, and it was called Dina Martina, Flat and Lacking. Isn't that the funniest thing you've ever heard?
Now, are you going to sing in your show like Ginger?
I'm going to do everything. I'm going to sing, lip sync, tap dance, play my guitar. I mean, there's going to be nothing I won't do.
You'll make a banana disappear by eating it.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm excited because I love traveling the world, and Drag Race has gotten me into every gay club in the world. But, you know, I'm a theater and cabaret person as a background. So I'm excited to tell more stories and not just, you know, pretend to sing music for drunk people. I mean, we'll definitely be drinking at my show.
Now, if people who want to get drunk when they see you perform, what do they need to be looking out for? Take a shot every time Trixie does what?
Well, have you ever seen Pee-wee's Playhouse?
Yeah.
Do you remember the secret word? So when you say hear this word, scream real loud. My show will have little built-in kids show moments where when we do something, you have to drink.
Oh, nice. So Trannika basically really liked this show.
Yeah, you can tell that I come from a background where our shows are sponsored by liquor, and we just basically get disgusting.
Tranika's like, oh, she blinked. Time for a drink.
Yeah,
shots.
I knew I wanted to do comedy too because if I had one thing I could change about Drag Race, it was sometimes people when I meet fans and their perception is like, you were so funny live in person. How come you weren't funny on Drag Race? And I'm like, well, what you saw on Drag Race was one thing, but come see my show and see how terrible it is, and then make your own opinion.
I thought you were funny on Drag Race. I was laughing the entire time.
Yeah, I guess in Drag Race they showed judges saying things, like she says she's funny, but she's not being funny, or I went home on a musical parody challenge, or like I just want people to come see it and see how I mean, and Drag Race too. I got so many jokes I said just would not be able to fly on a TV network either. So if you are like weak of stomach or you don't want to hear some fucked up shit, maybe steer clear of my show. But
I can't wait. So basically, like if you sit in the front row, you should bring like a raincoat so you don't get sploshed on.
Yeah, the first 3 rows, ooh, they'll get wet.
I always get wet when talking to you, girl.
When it's opening weekend, I promise it'll be in the Midwest in Milwaukee and Chicago, so you can see it.
What's the time schedule? Do you have some dates yet?
It'll be like after Christmas, because most of the time, most venues right now, they're more interested in like booking Christmas shows for that time of year, And
So
I'm not a
for
Christmas show
Valentine's
person.
Day.
Oh, you'll win our
Wouldn't that be
hearts.
cute? I want to be. I'm going to be. I'm trying to. The tricky part is I want to be able to. This is kind of a weird plan I have. I kind of want to be able to drive some of it, and then be able to video log the driving between cities and the experiences of driving this comedy tour too. Because flying is one thing, but I would love to be able to drive a lot of it.
No, I think doing it like a web series where you document your road trip adventures would be fantastic. If you can, but don't try to do it all on yourself. Like hire yourself an editor or a videographer to do that.
Yeah, or a husband.
Well, if you marry someone, don't do what I did. Marry somebody who actually knows how to run a video camera and how to edit things.
Yeah, Mark, is that what you love about Fausto? He's good with a computer.
He's very good with a computer. He's
And
good.
his hands.
Technology is very wonderful at all that kind of stuff.
I'm very good with technology.
Aww.
It's that little scar.
Anal. Now, you and Trannika and Kimchi wear T-shirts that says, you've changed, and then you wrote on yours that says, I've changed.
No, I didn't make those. A fan made those. She's really sweet. She lives in Chicago. Because as soon as I got on Drag Race, it was like Tranika's joke that everything about me had changed. She could literally be like, can I borrow $100? And I would be like, no. And she'd be like, wow, you've really changed. Anything was an opportunity. I would be like, I'm going to go change costumes. She's like, haven't you changed enough?
Yeah, it's probably her longest running joke.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great joke.
Just for the record, the most any drag queen from RuPaul's Drag Race has ever given us financially was that Alaska bought us Chinese food dinner one time.
Are you hinting at something?
And you gave us a T-shirt, 2 T-shirts, and a set of hate blockers. That was the most anything that anyone.
Well, I wear my Reading is Fundamental shirt all the time.
You do?
It's hilarious, yes.
No wonder it's the best seller on our site.
It's so cute. Plus, I think people like purple. Mine's purple. Are they all purple?
They're all purple, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people like purple.
Well, purple's like a feminist color, and reading is about educating yourself,
I'm working on my next merchandise, and I wanted to be a pink baseball tee. And Trannika was yelling at me. She's like, no one's going to fucking want to wear a pink shirt besides you faggot. Oh, can I say faggot? I said faggot.
Oh, you know what? Actually, that is so not true. A pink baseball T-shirt would sell extremely well with your audience demographic. And pink, this year, I don't know if you're aware of this, but a lot of fashion writers and people that we've interviewed and met say that pink is a very hot color for men.
Pink is so hot. I can't spill too much, but when you guys see my next piece of merchandise, my next shirt, you guys are going to shit yourselves. It is so cool.
Well, I wore a pink shirt when we did our cooking videos. That was one of those. Are you talking like a long sleeve shirt?
Yeah, like a raglan sleeves, colored sleeves with a white, and then the graphic on the front is going to blow your goddamn mind.
So hold on, am I gonna shit in my pants? Can I get Trixie Mattel diapers too with that?
At your age, don't you just have some around the apartment?
But I want the branded kind with a pink bow.
I want your
front.
logo on it, so when my feces lands somewhere special.
Yeah. In like 30 years, when the fans of my season are old, I'll come out with diapers.
Listen, you don't know. Have you done like a demographic survey? Some of your fans are so young, they do need diapers.
Well, it seems like the fans that buy merchandise, actually, a lot of my fans who buy merchandise are women because they like the girly like merchandise that I come out with. So I would say at least half of the people who buy it are women, which is weird because think of the people who come to my shows. It's mostly men because it's a gay bar. So.
But on the internet, yeah, we've noticed that a third of our audience is women, and a lot of them are the diehard ones who buy stuff. But it's like if you make things for women, they're not as into it as if you do stuff that's gay and sassy and fun. Then they're like, yeah, this is what I want, you know?
Yeah, I just make things I would want to wear that I think are cool, and then people respond well to it. So YOLO.
Hey, I saw your hate blockers are now on sale at Target. Congratulations on getting your merchandise.
Oh my God.
Into the stores.
Don't even remind me. The worst part is they're on sale for $1. They're on sale for $1. So I'm like, ugh. And you know, I was like, I had like in case the listeners don't know, there was my Target is selling in the Halloween section basically a copy of my sunglasses, and I was like, what am I going to do? But I mean, with fashion copyright, you can't really do anything. But I'm like, 4 weeks ago, Miley Cyrus posted a selfie wearing my glasses, and now Target mysteriously comes out with a copy of them. Very, very coincidence.
But they're only selling for like $1, so what you should do is just go and buy them all out, and then
sell them,
and then resell them. Because like, what is your cost? You probably pay $2 or $3 for those. You know?
Yeah, it's definitely not $1. It's not a lot though.
Oh my God, this is brilliant.
That is really smart. I'm not gonna lie. Well, mine are American made. Okay.
Made in the U.S. of A.
Yeah.
I heard that it was Kim Chi who actually manufactured all those in her apartment.
That is a harsh stereotype.
She was like,
You guys are the exact son of people who saw her in an Asian dress and figured it was hers when it's actually mine.
She said,
I knew it was yours because let's be honest, it doesn't really fit her. She's like four or 5 inches taller than you.
Well, yeah, why don't you call her and tell her that?
Tell it to her face.
I don't need to. She knows.
Great. Great.
Well, how tall are you? You're like 5.
Kim and I are actually the same dress size, the same shoe size. It's so good because who would have known when I meet a drag queen that I become best friends with? We end up being the same size. It was like a dream. And she's my same size and she's better dressed than me. So like, she actually has maybe some really nice stuff. She made me a purse last year for one of the premieres, and she's so amazing. I mean, she's somebody who could take like trash and turn it into treasure. You know what I mean?
Well, you and Kim Chi are the top viewed queens on season 1 of Cooking with Drag Queens. If that says anything.
Oh, really? Well,
yeah.
Kim is such a food, like, she's like the Rain Man with food. Like, if you want somebody to cook with, it's her. Like, she cares about food.
She found a secret Indian restaurant in our neighborhood that no one seems to know about, and we can't find the location ourselves either. And I keep asking her to take me there, and she's like, I'm so busy. I'm sorry.
You could call Kim you could call her at like 4 a.m. on like the north side of Chicago and be like, I need boneless wings under $10 in this neighborhood. And she'd be able to tell you where to get it, what the price is.
Oh, yeah. We drove past the place that she recommended.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Do you want to do a plug for the boneless wings late night place in Chicago?
No, but I will plug my t-shirt I'm wearing. I'm wearing my Trannika Rex t-shirt.
Yeah, it's sold out already, the mediums.
A few of the sizes are sold out. Yeah, go look at it. It's super cute.
The other day she said she only had 8 left. So I'm sure they're probably all gone now.
Well, she only printed 9.
She said she printed 150. I did the math.
Girl,
that's like 3,000 something.
Trannika, I want $100 from you now, girl.
I know she didn't want me to pay for it, and I was like insisting. I'm like, this is worth it. It's a cute shirt, bitch. And I sell merchandise. And when I started making my merchandise, I know how much money it is to start that. It's a lot of money to pull out of your ass to start printing them.
Yeah, she should have charged more.
Yeah. I'm discontinuing my shirts. I'm discontinuing my pink Trixie shirts, but my tank tops are still going very strong.
So it's been an extraordinary year, and you've traveled all around the world, from Australia to Brazil to Germany. There was a poster that I saw online, and it was like, the only RuPaul's drag queen to go to El Paso or some small town in Mexico, or...
You know what's crazy? I mean, like when because when I did Drag Race, I went home and I was like, well, I wanted to win, but I lost twice. So let's see how this goes. Because you don't know what people are going to think. You have no idea. And you have no
Yeah.
idea what you're going to look like. And if you would have told me, I mean, I was the first one to go to Europe, the first one to go to South America. I've gone to Europe 3 times this year. Like, what? I'm not bragging. I'm saying, like, I can't believe that the outcome of losing the show twice would be, like, getting to travel as much as the people who, like, might have won. It's insane.
What was the biggest surprise that you ran across in all those travels?
You know what the biggest thing is? I come from Milwaukee. I come from an area where I was so, like, the black sheep, the pink sheep, if you will. And then to go all over the world and show up and have people show up at the shows dressed like you, or like the makeup I used to get hated on for, I see on people all the time. It's stuff like that is completely insane. You know,
you ran into yourself.
Yeah, there in Chicago. I mean, because my makeup is so heavy and specific. If you just put it on like it looks, you will look just like me. It has nothing to do with your face. Like my James St. James transformation video on World of Wonder or WoW Presents, like he looks just like me at the end of it.
Because that's the one thing you always say about your makeup is you totally erase your normal face and it just becomes the makeup.
Yeah, so you don't need to look like me at all. You will look just like me. So that's the biggest, craziest thing is to go from being like people telling you you're kind of too weird or you're not doing drag correctly to people being like, I've never seen anything like it. You're my favorite. Shit like that is insane to me.
Do you ever have dreams that you're actually talking to Trixie Mattel, that she's somebody separate from you?
Oh, I have dreams that I'm at school and I'm naked. I have to get home without anyone seeing me. And I have dreams that my teeth fall out. And
you know what that means, right? When your teeth are falling out in your dreams?
What?
That you're losing control over things.
Oh, that's so true. This last year is just like a constant, just me not sleeping and trying to run this business really all by myself. You know, the merch and the everything. It's a lot more. Drag looks like you show up looking beautiful, you pretend to sing a song and leave, but it is not that. It is so much more than that.
When you're traveling to all these cities and meeting yourself, you're literally running to yourself all around the world. Which country does the best Trixie Mattel impersonations?
United States. I mean, you know what, they have the best. I think in the United States they have the show at their fingertips. I mean, obviously.
But what like foreign country does the best impersonation of you?
Oh, Brazil. Actually, Canadians. I've seen the most uncanny Canadian Trixies you've ever seen.
And did you recently hear about Azalea Banks like punching a flight attendant? Oh no, she was punching a passenger and then she yelled faggot at a flight attendant and then she got into a flame war with Willem and then Manila said that she got thrown off because she dared to call a flight attendant waitress.
Girl, I don't pay attention to that garbage and neither should you.
Well, do you ever fight with anybody? Like, do you ever get so stressed out on a flight that you just are ready to
No, I fly almost
out?
every day. No, I don't understand what human adult would lash out on a plane. Calm the fuck down. I mean, I might kill a kid. Like, I might go full ISIS on a kid if he won't shut up, but
traveling is very stressful, and for a lot of people, they just can't handle it, and they freak out, and people get air rage all the time. And I've traveled with people, and they're normal in their every day-to-day life, and they're fantastic, and then you go on a trip with them, and they go completely bonkers. People need that comfort zone. Some people
I don't know. I find it somewhat relaxing. I mean, I travel everywhere I've gone, including all over the foreign countries I've gone by myself. I find it very calming. For me at this point, it's a Pavlovian response. I get on that airplane, and before it even fully boards, I'm asleep.
Yeah, because you're on the road and you need to sleep when you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I am white trash, so like if I could be in full REM cycle, but when I hear that like refreshment cart go by, I'm like awake like a sleeper soldier.
You're like, free food.
Oh, totally. They're like, do you want peanuts or pretzels or cookies? I'm like, all of them. Why are you asking? Just give me all of them.
Do you get to fly first class everywhere you go?
Oh, God, no. I mean, some of the queens do. I won't name names. But some of them do. Some of them do because of their size, too. Some like their body type. They're like, I can't fly every day in these teeny little seats. So I can understand that. Some queens fly first class everywhere. I fly coach. Girl, everybody else is like, Delta, first class, premium, platinum, diamond. I'm like middle seat on standby on Spirit Airlines.
But doesn't Spirit charge you for like bags? And that can get costly as a traveling
No,
queen.
I've never done Spirit. I'm just kidding. I usually fly Delta. Those are the best people in the industry, I think.
Girl, don't fly American Airlines if you're transgender. They'll basically like hose you down with a fire hose.
Oh, I read about that young lady. Wasn't that horrible? You know what, though?
My
I have one of
God.
those faces, too. At every border patrol, every passport control, they're like, what are you here for? And I tell them exactly why I'm there. And they're always like, oh, yeah, okay. And they like go through all my bags. They like extensively check. I think I just have one of those faces. Or like when Katya and I went to Australia, we were not allowed into the country. It just, I have one of those faces. It's so hateful.
Wait, you and Katya got deported from Australia because they found out what your real job is.
We didn't get deported. We just we got denied access to the country.
Well, Katya goes around telling people that she's like their favorite bisexual prostitute, and they're like, we're not going to let prostitutes in our country.
I know. Yeah. Long story short, I won't give details away, but thank God we went through that together. I mean, Katya and I spent the night in an immigration detention center together, being watched by guards. Like, it was not a joke. We were fingerprinted.
Yeah, if I had to go through some awful experience with any of the RuPaul's Drag Race girls, it would be you and Katya. I mean, and we've worked with a lot of the girls and met a lot of them behind the scenes, and you two are like the ones that got most of their shit together.
Thank you. You guys are sweethearts too. I wouldn't mind being stuck somewhere with you.
Ooh, I've seen what you got, baby. I wouldn't mind getting stuck either.
Were you ever able to get back to Australia?
She and I, we're working on, we have to get there's extra steps we have to take to get into the country now. But our tour is slated to be in November, but we're still waiting on our paperwork. But I'm super excited. I mean, we had sold out 5 cities. We had extra meet and greets added on. We were stoked. And Katya and I, we were truly at the border. We don't even want money. We just want to do our shows. We'll do them for free. We just want to perform because there was fans we wanted to meet. That's all we care about, really,
It was interesting that Forbes magazine declared you, Katya, and Ginger the real winners of RuPaul's Drag Race and not the top. Who was the top? Oh, yeah. I was I keep forgetting that Pearl is in the top 3.
I would disagree. I mean, Pearl has her popularity is through the roof. You know what I think it is?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a lot of the fans, because who has the most online presence? Teenagers. And teenagers identify with Adore, for example, who's I'm different and I don't fit in. And I'm just young. And they're like, me too. Or Pearl, it's I'm young and I'm not going to go along with this. And teenagers are I feel the same way. So I think that's why the teenagers have such a relationship with Pearl, for example, because they really identify with her, You
do such flawless impersonation of all your sisters.
Thank you. And then Ginger. And then you have Ginger on the other hand, it's time for a big girl to win.
Anybody who's ever said that has never won.
No, it's funny because when you watch the season, Ginger's I don't want to win because I'm big. And then the next episode, she's it's time for a big girl to win.
Oh, hey, RuPaul, what about a thick and juicy girl, huh? Thick and juicy. She was just kept thick and juicy. I don't remember her as Mrs. Thick and Juicy, but I don't remember her name.
Roxy Andrews.
Andrews.
Yeah. People say Katya. I mean, Katya and I definitely have a lot of love, but I think it's because we also have a lot of similar fans.
Yeah.
We have a lot of niche fans who kind of have a bad sense of humor. They like a stupid joke more than they like a beautiful drag queen,
That's what I live for.
Not that we're not beautiful, but...
Well, the fans have been calling Katya mom, and they're calling you dad.
Well, it's because people think that Katya and I... Katya and I have expressed in different interviews, A, how much we love each other, B, how we are each other's, drag queen crush. So I think people just want us to be their mom and dad. I mean, if I had to marry Katya, I think that's a pretty sweet deal.
You guys are not sexually active with each other, are you? Or, why am
I wouldn't say if we were... I mean, if I had to pick someone, I'm very sexual with my heart.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't have sex with someone I didn't care about. So I care about her the most.
And Katya's a good kid,
She's a good kid. Although, how do you do meth for 2 years and then still end up with perfect teeth like her? That's not even fair.
I think she exaggerates things a little bit. And it is possible to be a meth addict and not fuck up your teeth, too.
She is an amazing human. I mean, she's great. But yeah, we're trying to go back to
by the way,
Australia.
Next week on our YouTube channel is our final episode of Cooking with Drag Queens with Katya.
How fun.
Now, tell me if I'm pronouncing her name correctly. It's Katya Zamolochikova.
It's Oh, Katerina Petrovka Zamolochikova. That's what it is.
And is it true that her whole family are like karate martial arts experts?
I don't know if that's true. There's a lot of people in the world who still think she's a real Russian person. So,
and I
she's
think
shrouded
her
in
mother
mystery.
was a female bodybuilder. She told me.
Okay, you can believe that.
And
She's
I was like,
from Boston.
You're totally like she was fucking with me so hard.
Yeah, probably. Well, I try not to lie.
Hey guys, Cooking with Drag Queens Season 2 Kickstarter is up and running. We need, if you can't make a donation, please share it with your sugar daddy or your real daddy and mommy and be like, hey, I want to, we're having a bake sale this year, Trixie.
And it's amazing. You guys really get like, it's not just like, we're going to interview a drag queen. It's like, here's an activity where you get to learn to cook something and you really dig deep and go behind the scenes with people. And that's cool.
Well, Season 2 has the theme.
It does?
What is it, food?
It's watch drag queens make a mess in the kitchen. So one thing that we kind of learned from Season 1 is that it's a lot more fun to watch a drag queen make it than to watch these two dudes.
Well, when we first started...
But you guys do it so well. You got the big forearms and you're actually skilled at cooking.
But it's fun to watch you guys kind of like fumble through the kitchen and it's like... And see, watching you sort of like set things on fire or making something delicious is a lot of fun.
Or pouring that fish sauce out, going, hi, Gia Gun. That's one of the highlights for me.
I loved watching that episode. It was so fun.
Will you come back and do another one with us? I think we kind of did the behind the scenes stuff, but I'd love to get you back in the kitchen and make something with you sometime.
Yeah, and your pad thai changed my life. It's so good. Although I will say, I've had it at a lot of restaurants, and yours was so fresh and good.
Now, when you go out to a Thai restaurant, do you specifically tell them not to use fish sauce or shrimp paste in it? Or do you just take it as is?
I asked them not to, yeah. And Kimchi taught me about well, actually, I was with Pearl, and she taught me about Thai iced tea, which is so good. So I'm also into that now. But I don't like to try new foods.
Thai iced tea is the easiest thing to make. All you do is just take really strong coffee and you add condensed milk to it.
Listen,
tea.
I'm not a scientist. I'm not a mixologist.
Or
I can't do all that.
tea, or very strong tea.
Actually, when you make a Thai iced tea, it's a specific type of tea, and I don't think it's it's not Lipton that they use. No. But they do use a specific kind of tea, and it's basically sweetened condensed milk. But yeah, we'd love to have a redemption episode, not for you, but for us. Because we kind of fucked it up. We basically, ignored that, yes, some vegetarians do eat fish and seafood products.
People flipped out. People love to look for anything that is like possibly hot button and then just like get involved. Like I did a Caitlyn Jenner impression the other day and people were like online like, I can't believe she did that. I'm like,
can you do it for me right now? Because I saw a YouTube video of it and it was kind of like the sound was bad.
Oh, maybe later.
What do you do?
I don't want to get us in more trouble. I didn't say anything bad, but if I'm gonna cite an example from the episode, I'm gonna do the voice of the person I'm being, and then I did a Candace Kane impersonation right after it. Like, what's the problem?
I love your Caitlyn versus Candace impersonation
because they were asking about adjusting your voice and like getting the voice you've always wanted, kind of like what my friend Sarah Andrews is getting right now. And I just was like, well, I'm not going to do the impersonation and have them have the same exact voice. It's ridiculous. Like Sharon Needle said, I think Drag Race, unfortunately, is the Disney of drag, and then people are shocked when they see real drag in action.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the passage if somebody knows it. It's like the rainbow passage. If you guys
Caitlyn just officially today changed her gender and name on her California ID. So she's now Caitlyn Marie Jenner.
So hold on a second.
Oh
Throughout all this, she has not been on her driver's license, and she's one of the wealthiest and most connected people in California and didn't change that?
Listen, Fausto, every trans person goes at their own rate, and it's not fair of you to judge them like that.
It's everybody's different journey. Listen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm such a hater.
You're such a hater.
Caitlyn Marie.
That's the other thing I've noticed. I was just in Chicago, and what else is the weirdest thing about traveling too? When I was in Chicago, when I meet people at the show who are like, you used to live in Milwaukee, how come you never used to perform here? And I'm smiling, but the back of my head goes off like a volcano. If you only watch Drag Race Queens but you say you love drag. That's like saying I love music, but I only watch American Idol.
Well,
Like,
that's
okay.
the number one complaint that like bands have. They're like, people are like, oh my God, you guys are so fresh. You guys are so new on the scene. And they're like, hello, we've been a band for 10 years before we even went anywhere.
Yeah, especially in Chicago. I mean, you guys really have the best cutting edge drag in your neighborhood. If you just wait till drag queens come to town from Drag Race, you're missing out.
You know, I love the fresh new crop of queens that are coming out here. And your friend Tranika's got a good night with her friend, what's his name, Dustin, Nico, and they do like Crash Landing, where it's like 20 drag queens. So this is always the best way to get people to come to a show is get 20 performers, because they're all going to at least bring one or two people with them, so it'll look like a packed house. And then it's just like you see the new talent, and it gives them an opportunity to, crash land. And then every week after that, or every 2 weeks after that, they kind of they call the herd, and so in the end, you just have 5 left standing.
That sounds fun. Yeah, Trannika told me it was a great success the first week.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get to see the next one just because we're going to be going to the Madonna concert, because we had some nice listeners.
We went to the Madonna concert.
Oh.
Berlin was so fun Saturday.
Mark cannot conceive of the fact that we tape shows ahead of time and then post them at a later date.
I didn't know when we were what day we were taping this.
Since we're going to Madonna concert on a Monday, we're taping this on a Friday. When do you think this would air?
I would think Monday.
You guys don't break up.
This is not Monday's show?
No, because our Kickstarter goes up on Wednesday.
Oh.
That we've been talking about for the last hour.
Oh, so this is Wednesday's show.
Should I just let myself out?
Oh, my God. Do you need a new husband?
No, I'm okay. I want to tell you guys, though, Saturday at Berlin was so off the chain. I wish you guys could have been there. It was insane.
What happened?
Last week, oh, my God, they had the biggest audience they've ever had record to date. It was so fun to come home and perform in Chicago.
Tranika's shows are really some of the best events here in Chicago.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, there were so many people there. Like, I knew that you were going to be there, and Kimchi and all the like big stars. And it's like, girl, I could not. I just, I'll watch it on YouTube. It's like, because this is part of the thing I like about, and this is maybe like selfish of me, but I like it when we used to be able to see you and the audience was like half empty.
Like, who's this girl from Milwaukee? Why does she do her makeup like that?
She's so weird. She should be beautiful. Why is she not beautiful?
Do you still do Anne Frank now that you're famous?
Well, I do, but the thing is, you want to get rebooked at clubs. So, like, I love to do Anne Frank, like in Chicago, where I know the club has a sense of humor. But here's the real truth. I come from a background, and especially in Chicago, where we do like, the fringe of drag, and that's what's popular in Chicago. But when you're on Drag Race, the bookings you get, you're like a 3-floor multi-dance plex with a Britney night. Like, they want you to be, you have to appeal to a little more of an experienced audience. So you can't walk out there as Anne Frank,
Because half of them don't even know who Anne Frank is.
And frankly, I did not see that coming.
Well, and they're Drag Race fans too, so they don't know about, a lot of time they don't really know about the fringe aspect of drag. They're like, are you going to do Britney work, bitch? Yeah, that's fierce.
And I heard that you were going to try and do Anne Frank for Snatch Game, but they said, don't even bring the costume.
I can neither confirm nor deny, but I had a bunch of,
Okay, let's take some. You have a bunch of really good questions on social media. Guys, you can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Feast of Fun, and stay up to the minute on who is on the next episode of Feast of Fun podcast. You can just make sure that add us on your friends to, friend us or star us, so we pop up right on the top of your feed. And the first question comes from Gary Wong, who's wanting to know, why'd you delete your YouTube channel? I learned so much from you when I was starting as a makeup artist.
It was just so old. I mean, I used to have a YouTube channel from like 5 years ago when I was just kind of like a baby queen. And I just didn't want that representing myself, because it was a lot longer, a lot of time before the character was more developed. So I just didn't want it around.
A lot of people don't realize that you play the guitar, and you used to have a music career as Brian Furcus.
I did until I was like 20, 21. No, until I was like 20. You couldn't tell me I wasn't going to be like a professional folk singer, and then I just switched gears.
And have you ever considered? I mean, the fact that you are a full musician, you can read sheet music and compose songs. You're a really good singer. Any chances of giving Trixie Mattel a music career?
No, because I think of it as this, like, I can honestly count on maybe 2 fingers the number of drag queen songs I enjoy. And also, I just think, especially in the drag industry, the music right now is drag queens paying people to make them music that they talk over. And that to me isn't really, like when drag queens are like, I got on Drag Race, and then they're like, well, now I'm going to be a musician. I think that's like disrespectful to music as an art to turn around and say, I'll give this a try. Real musicians do it their whole life. Like, you know.
But you were a musician your whole life, though.
I guess, but I do like folk and Americana. Could you imagine Trixie singing like old Americana music?
I would love to see a Peter, Paul, and Mary cover album of Trixie Mattel with an acoustic guitar.
Well, in my show that's going to be touring next year, Trixie Mattel Ages 3 and Up, there's a piece in it. It ends, well, not spoiler alert. At the end, it's me as a boy playing a guitar. So it has a kind of, you know,
I've been pushing you to do this. I think that your music background is a very important thing not to give up.
Don't let the music die, Trixie. Don't let it die.
Yeah, I'm okay at music, but like I had to kind of pick a path, and I'm like, well, I'm never going to be a professional musician, but I think might be able to be a professional drag queen, and so I just did that.
Nestor wants to know, hey, Trixie.
Hi, Nestor.
Why did my friend get your full signature on his shirt, but I got only initials from you? And why did my picture make it to your Instagram feed? Huh?
Well, usually if I write a note, like a long note, I'll sign it with TM Heart, like a little Cabbage Patch Kid thing. Or if it's just my name, like I love you, I'll do the full name. Because I don't always have the full. Once I was like, when you have a line of 100 people staring at you, you're like, I'm going to make this short and impactful.
Listen, you have a lot of wonderful photos come your way. You have a lot of wonderful fans, but unfortunately, not all of them can be on your social media, and that's okay.
Nestor, tweet me this picture, and I will share it. And then I will come to my house and tattoo my name on the inside of your gums.
Aisha Nicole, Trixie, has any fan done anything funny or weird in front of you, like tripped, puked, gave you an engagement ring, or skipped around naked? Now, this is not Katya's behavior. This is a fan.
Some really weird things have happened. One time a girl, she got so excited, she fell backwards into the background that we were shooting in front of. And then I had to get her up and hold her up for the picture. Sometimes, oh my God, the other day, this girl goes, all right, I want to touch your boobs, and I want you to touch my boobs, and I want my friend to reach up your skirt and grab your butt. Is that okay? And I just went, no. Are you really just like asking me to like molest me? Absolutely not. Or
are they adults who are asking you this, or like minors?
Yeah, it's an adult. And one time this person came up and said, he was like Southern. He was like, I'll really like you, and I watched Drag Race, and I could tell right away that you and I were going to be good friends. And he was right. He was so funny and sweet. So it amazes me what people come up with. Or sometimes they just start crying. One time I was at H&M and I was checking out, and the cashier looked up and saw me and just started crying.
Aww, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
You know, the weirdest thing is that when people
gay.
Recognize us out in public, they start running the other way.
Yeah.
That's not
true.
Well,
they don't like...
But when it happens, like, our friends are always just like, really?
Really? From a fucking YouTube video? She wants to take her photo and put it on her Instagram? Are you nuts?
Yeah. And here in West Hollywood, I mean, when I go to CVS, it's like, the other day I got recognized 4 times at CVS. Like, it's crazy. Or like I was on a date with a guy, and he was super annoyed because people kept recognizing me. I'm like, well, don't take me out in West Hollywood if you have a problem with people saying hi to me. Like, you know.
Well, now that you live there, though, I imagine they're kind of like used to seeing you, though, right?
I'm never here. I think I've lived here 3 months. I think I've slept in this bed like 20 days, maybe.
Wow. Now, Max Goodman and Matt Ballard, they want to know the rumors, and those are not really rumors of your meaty tuck. It's a fact.
Well, if you want to talk about the tuck as a thing, I don't tuck. You don't pay. Nobody in the world pays me enough to put tape on my penis. So I just wear like Spanx and lots of tights.
So you just
But
mush it.
is it but if you're looking up for information about the size of it, I don't know. I will say I've never been outdone. Let's just say that.
I don't know
wow.
if I don't know if
seen.
you're a grower, but I definitely know you're a shower. And we have this
Yeah.
on video footage of you actually your dong hanging out.
No, is it really?
Yeah, because I ran the little it was the GoPro was sitting there on the on the corner, and and you were like took your clothes off, and it was like from the waist up it was Trixie Mattel, and from the waist down it was porn star.
I see an X-rated Tumblr post coming.
I know. Well, I don't even have a dick pic because you know, if I'm going to release a dick pic, I'm going to do like Pearl and do it the week of my album.
Oh, so you think she released that? So you do think that outrage was all fake outrage?
No way.
No, I'm just kidding. But I like mystery and honestly, people talking about, because they mentioned it on Drag Race, and so people talk about it a lot. But I will say on Drag Race, they said I was uncircumcised, which is not true.
No, I saw you are circumcised.
But on Drag Race, they said it was uncircumcised, and I was like, well, I'm not mad at an uncircumcised dick, but don't misrepresent.
Now, do you feel like the feud between Raja and Pearl was like? Do you want to weigh in on that at all?
No, I think it's unprofessional to weigh in on it.
Because this is what I said. It's like, you know, if you feel like you're not sleeping enough, all you can do is budget your sleeping time so you actually are home a little bit so you can recharge your batteries, right?
That's what drugs are for, Fausto.
Well, I think of it like this. I think of it, if you're going to be a drag queen and call out anybody, let me just say this. If I was going to say someone had busted wigs, I would make sure my wigs were like Matthew Anderson level before I said anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So any drag queen speaking out against anybody else for any reason is like, you put your own track record up for examination too, you know?
Well, you always hear this. It's like, let your success be your best revenge, which is kind of it's not explained. The concept here is when someone is picking on you or hurting you or humiliating you, instead of spending all your energy fighting back, lose yourself in your work, because ultimately your art and your work is going to set you free and not fighting with somebody about some shit that they said somewhere.
Well, that's sort of what happened to me with Drag Race. And I was like, I didn't feel great about losing twice. And I didn't feel great about the reasons why either time. So I was like, I'm either going to be mad about it or I'm going to just be really successful from it anyway.
Well, you probably are being asked by season 8 queens what they should be doing to get ready, because they, you know, allegedly have filmed the next season, though they always film it in the summer. Between September and the spring, what kind of advice would you have for drag queens who have been on the show in order to get ready to maximize the fame that they're going to be facing?
Well, now they're my competitors in my industry, so I can't tell them anything.
Oh. That's good advice. Go fuck yourself.
I will say when queens tell me this is between like the filming of our season and the season starting, when other queens in the season be like, I'm so sick of waiting for this to start. I was floored because I was like, there's so much to get ready. How are you bored? What are you waiting for? There's merchandise to do. There's photo shoots. There's like, you know, how are you bored between this time and, you know?
Yeah, I'm surprised that like of all the queens from your season, you're the only one who actually had merchandise ready from day one.
Yeah. Well, I just thought it was like, it's a window that's open, you know?
Yeah.
And people are fans of you before the show. They can access you before the show. I don't know. I guess my advice would be get ready to experience drag in a completely different way. Because we all start doing drag for one reason, but being on Drag Race changes so many things, and they're not all necessarily for the positive. So,
well, I hope that Cooking with Drag Queens help make your life better and not worse.
oh, yeah, it's fine.
At least you got to eat.
Yeah, I got to eat.
Vice Squiggly Bones, or also known on Facebook now as Vice.
Plus, I got an amazing moment in my life, basically a snapshot of it that I can watch whenever I want. So, I will say, I love Drag Race. I love the opportunity. I love RuPaul and World of Wonder and everyone involved. I'm so ready for season 8 to come out. I'm like, you know,
Bring on the
I
new
filmed it a
queens.
year. I filmed it a year and how long ago? So, you know, to be answering like, was Violet really a bitch? I'm like, oh God, you know.
Well, this season, according to rumors, has the most past Feast of Fun guests the ever. I'm counting like 4 at least, according to the rumors. And so for us personally, it's going to be very interesting to watch. And last season was good too, because it had some queens that we already knew about, you know, you and Pearl from Chicago. So that was a lot of fun. So it's more fun to watch a show when you actually know who's like, you've met and seen perform whoever's on it, you know?
I know I think in season 8, I know every single one of them before the show was even filmed. So
Wow.
it's going to be weird to watch.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
because you
weird to
already have your
watch.
opinion about them and you know how they would interact and react to challenges, and then to actually see them in that situation, it's
Well,
very
it's also this.
interesting.
I'm watching. You know, it is a competition show, but it's also a reality show. You know, it's part the Olympics. It's also part the Hills. Do you know what I mean?
I heard
So
a
it also
rumor that
just
they're
makes me.
putting them all
It makes
in
me
a.
nervous to watch
Sure.
my.
Go
Makes
ahead.
me
I'm
nervous to watch people I know walk into something that truly isn't always fully. You know, you don't know what's going to come out of it.
I heard a rumor that they're
I got
putting
really
them all
lucky.
together like Big Brother style.
Who knows? I mean, for example, I didn't do well. I lost the competition twice, but I got a really beautiful, amazing edit and a beautiful fan response, and that's the ultimate win. You know, so for all of them, I hope for the best. But it is, you know, like I said, part the Olympics, part the Hills. So not everybody's going to get a positive experience. Look at Jasmine Masters, amazing drag queen, and then her friends were probably so happy for her, and then with the show, people hate on her all the time. So like. I'm
And
nervous
she's the
for
one who
some of the
came up with
people who are
no
on
tea,
it.
no shade, no pink lemonade.
Which is a legendary thing.
And pop the corn and feed the children.
Yeah. So I guess to next season's queens, just some of them are going to be lucky, and you know, not everybody is going to get a beautiful response from fans, and that sucks because when I don't want to say a nobody, but when you're just doing drag to get by or for fun or for your art, it's a completely different thing than doing drag because you're on Drag Race. It changes everything, you know.
Ruben Faulkner, how long does it take for you to face your makeup?
Oh my God, it takes me only an hour. It surprises people.
Yeah, it's fast. You move quickly and you use paintbrushes to apply the contouring.
Yeah.
Not sponges.
And think about it like this too. Like Violet, for example, her face is like a masterpiece. It's so subtle and perfect. She has to be really intricate and soft. And for me, it is more like color blocking. Like I really can put it on fast because it has to look kind of purposeful and intense. I can't be really soft strokes.
Do you use a stencil at all?
No, I use I don't stencil anything. I freehand everything. I mean, I use like a student loan to cut my cheek.
Joseph Reeves, comedian here in Chicago, who looks a lot like Trannika when he's in drag. And
oh, I know him. Hi.
Hi, Joseph. So he says he's up for adoption because Trannika doesn't want him as a drag daughter anymore. Will you be his new drag mom?
I can't because I don't believe in drag mothers. Trixie Mattel, of immaculate conception. And I believe if you learn to do everything yourself, do everything, like, I think a lot of people say my drag is unique and they've never seen anything like it. And I attribute a large part of that to the fact that I never got help and I just learned it all myself.
But that's not true because you and I both claim Lady Bunny as our drag mom.
She's my drag grandpa.
Vice Squiggly Bones, who's a listener of the show and is starting a new drag show, is excited to have you come and perform in Boise in October.
Oh my God, me too. I've never been to Idaho. I'm so excited. I love going places for the first time. It's so fun.
Especially places that you can make those wonderful pun jokes.
Oh, totally. And I love, I mean, I'm a Midwest boy, so I love like working anywhere that's a big city but has a small town feel. And I think Idaho will have that.
Dara Hughes wants to know, is there a place that you'd like to perform that you haven't been to or would like to get booked in?
Yeah, I really want to go to France because I'm a French speaker and I've been to Europe a few times, but I haven't been to France yet. And I guess I'm going, well, Hawaii was on my list, but I'm going this month. I've gotten like my whole wish list is crossed off. I'm going to Austria next summer for Life Ball.
I know one venue you haven't been at yet.
Oh, what is it?
The Super Bowl.
Oh, good point. The Super Bowl. It was disappointing that I didn't get to do the VMAs because I got to see all my friends do it, but I was in Europe at the time.
Oh, girl, I have so much tea about that VMAs. Oh my god!
Yeah.
One of the performers fell into onto the audience from the stage
during the rehearsal.
Great.
During the rehearsal, yeah.
And I don't think fell into the state. It fell between two things. Like there was some kind of gap somewhere, and they fell into it, and they didn't know if they were going to get out.
I heard she fell into a tuba, and her legs were poking out from the top.
I love Miley, so I would have just loved an opera. When I got to meet her, she saw me and she went, "Oh, Trixie!" Like when Miley Cyrus knows her name, that's a cool moment. And she wears my glasses often, so I love her.
Those girls rehearse 7 days a week for 8-hour days with Miley Cyrus, which is like the payment in itself, right?
Yeah, that'd be you're a drag queen. You're a man in a wig. Most of us come from a dirty, disgusting bar. What a treat to come from, I used to work for free on a Wednesday, and then one day I got asked to do that production, but I wasn't available.
I know why you weren't unavailable.
You can't have everything.
Because you were busy doing another gig.
Yeah, I was somewhere else, but
in heaven.
You can't have everything.
Charlie McBride, I know you found inspiration from vintage dolls, but what inspired you to look for that? What got you started to looking your signature look? It was because your dad was like screaming at you're a Trixie, right?
Yeah, so if you could imagine seeing commercials like in the 90s of like My Little Pony and Polly Pocket and Barbie and seeing all these things and wanting them and being told you can't have them because you're a boy. I mean, like that definitely, I attribute it to Sybil, like something bad happens to you and you split into people. And then when I was creating the face, I was looking at Barbies in like the 60s and the way the eye looks on a My Little Pony and the way the hair is wavy and like the proportions of Polly Pocket. So all these things I didn't get to have. It's just like my Pretty Woman moment now that I get to marry them all together and look like a kid's toy every day.
Caitlin Warner on Twitter wants to know, what's your favorite type of Barbie doll? Do you actually have one?
Ooh, yeah, I have a few. I love Move and Groove and Barbie. She was this Barbie, I think she's from like 98, maybe 99. And she had a key in her back. And when you made her walk, her feet moved forward and she had stamps on her feet. So she would stamp on paper. And I also loved, if you guys look at my, to the coronation crowning party for RuPaul's Drag Race, I wore a look with rollerblades and like, knee pads and stuff. That was pretty much a copy I made of Move and Groove and Barbie. She had suction cups on her feet so she could do aerobics. And she came with a cassette tape that I still have. I found at a store. So those two are probably my all-time favorite.
Do you ever remember, and this was in the 80s, the Barbie that had her head was a spinning top, and you could convert her from a blonde to a brunette by rotating her scalp?
No, I don't remember that at all.
It's really disturbing and wonderful.
Perfidia has those.
I think Perfidia had one of those. Yeah, we played with it.
She had two of them
when we were.
I will say,
in New
and
York
also
City.
my favorite era of Barbie was the 90s because she was like orange. Her hair was a white blonde with a big power bang, and she had a bright pink lipstick and blue eyeshadow that stretched all the way up to her eyebrows. And that era, and then they remade Barbie, and they made her, like the Barbie we see today is a lot thinner, thin waist. She's not as curvy. She's not as big of boobs. She has more soft makeup. And I like the old one.
What inspired you to have this kind of like baseball bouffant, curly hair, afro Barbie look that you've been doing recently?
Well, the afros on the side of my head, that was, if you guys ever watched the Powerpuff Girls, there's a character called Princess, who's a little rich girl who's a villain, and she has hair like that. And there was also a Barbie, if you Google search like 80s Barbie, I forget what her name is, but she wore two big textured afros, and her hair was all slicked back. So, I'm not a good inventor. I'm not a good creator of looks. But I really, I follow a lot of things to kind of build my inspiration for me because I'm not a visionary with looks at all.
This is not a Barbie doll, but I think it is a Mattel product. Was the Bratz dolls?
Oh yeah, I think Pearl looks like a Bratz doll.
And they were into trouble recently because they came out with one that was like a gold digger Bratz doll, which is basically a prostitute for little kids to play with.
Hey, I mean, live your truth. Bratz dolls are beautiful as well. Bratz dolls were a little after my time, so I'm not as nostalgic. But I think Pearl looks like a Bratz doll because she has those beautiful, like, sultry eyes and the full lips.
Someone wants to know if you're planning to get any plastic surgery to look like Amanda Lepore. And this is from somebody on Bjork.
What's funny is I got reached out to by Botched. They were like, Trixie lives in LA now. What work has she had done? And my management and stuff, we were like, none. And they're like, well, what is she interested in having done? Because, maybe we could do an episode where she gets something done to look more like Trixie. And we're like, goodbye forever. Because why would I want to look more like Trixie? I love looking like a boy out of drag, and I love looking like a psychotic clown stripper in drag.
But it could change, in the future. It's like, how old are you? You're like 24 years old, and 10 years from now, you'll be
maybe
like,
I could get some maybe I'll get some big detox like pecs and arms. I want to be sexy as a boy.
There's a girl who makes purses out of board games who promised us a purse out of Candyland that we were going to auction off for Cooking with Drag Queens season 2. Jessica, we're still waiting for it. She promised us one and she never delivered it. Okay.
Jessica, don't be a liar. There's two things God hates: liars and fornicators, Jessica.
She wants you to make one for you. What board game and color?
But don't expect she'll ever send it.
Oh, I would love I love the Game of Life, and I love Pretty Pretty Princess.
The Game of Life is
or Dream Phone, or Girl Talk.
Oh, you know what? A really good one is Mystery Date.
Oh, good one. Yeah, that one was like, I love the mall, but I don't love going to the movies, and you had to like figure out who was your date.
The Game of Life is how my friend explained to her son why I was gay. She goes, you know that little car in the Game of Life? He goes, yeah. He goes, well, you know how you have a pink one for a woman and pink, a blue one for the boy? Well, Mark's car, it's all blue.
Great. Mystery date is what I do like on a Friday night. I'll post on Craigslist, doors open, don't call me by my name, People
are like complaining on Twitter that you don't follow them back.
Do something interesting.
Well, listen, make it worth a while. Hello, tip.
If someone, I follow people like if they truly type something funny. Like one time, somebody typed at me, "Here's a new read for you to use," and I said, "What is it?" And she goes, "How did Kasha audition for Drag Race?" Or Kasha's first audition for Drag Race, she recorded on a stone tablet and threw into RuPaul's cave. And I was like, so I followed him. Like if you say something I really enjoy, that will make me want to hear everything you say. I'll definitely follow you.
Is the correct way to pronounce Katya's name is because she's all about the T, so it's Katya, not Kasha?
It's Katya, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's No, you don't say Kasha. Some people, like in Brazil, they kept saying Katya.
That's actually a beautiful way to pronounce it. I like that.
Katya. Oh, yeah, but they were like Katya. And I was like, weird, it's Katya, but that sounds cool too.
LA Gimpy Bitch says, what is the worst experience you ever had in your life?
The worst experience for me, I mean, as a performer, there's one thing that almost sends me over the edge. And it's when me and the audience are having a moment or we're talking or playing a game and there's someone drunk who keeps yelling things, who's just like, Trixie, or like, don't ruin the show for other people. That is my number one, like, you can fuck with me, but when you fuck with the people's experience at a show, don't do that. Worst experience of my life, though, was probably staying in that basically prison cell in Australia. Also losing Drag Race twice. Also...
Did it really hurt you that bad to lose Drag Race twice, or are you just making fun?
I mean, it's not a fun feeling.
Because, you're doing pretty well for yourself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm doing great. But I mean, it's not fun to. It's one of my dreams. Obviously, I would say it's up there with. Not many bad things happen to me nowadays in my life. I would say as I get older in life, every year of my life is progressively better. At this point, I'm like so happy.
And now maybe you'll be able
Nothing
to
bad happens to me.
win, All-Stars, should they ever tape an All-Stars.
Yeah, or Freaky Eaters or something.
Well,
drag,
this
I guess,
is
isn't my
thing.
thing.
A lot of drag queens always look to Drag Race as a way to advance their career, but there's thousands of reality TV shows. Have you ever considered them being on any other ones? Like,
Fausto, you say that all the time, but nothing boosts a drag queen's career but Drag Race. I mean, you can get.
That's not my question.
Yeah.
It's would you be interested in being on another one in addition?
But your question is flawed.
Well, Drag Race is a choice you can make to do with your career. Drag Race shouldn't be the reason you start drag. It shouldn't be the highest aspiration you have for yourself as a performer, because it is, at the end of the day, one television show. And you're one queen of, at this point, going on next year, almost 100 others, 101 if you count Shangela, twice.
Like, I'll answer the question myself. It's like if somebody said to me, "Hey, what reality TV show would you like to get on to advance your career as a drag queen?" I'd be like, "I want to be on one of those home remodeling shows."
I mean, Kimchi and I always talk about we would love to do like The Amazing Race together, where we get to be a team and like solve puzzles and travel the world.
Oh, that's a good one too, because if there's any kind of crack or flaw in your relationship, those kind of like team building adventure shows will reveal it.
Oh, good. Perfect.
I would love to see like Survivor with drag queens and stick drag queens on a deserted island and put them eating bugs and,
Well, Drag Race is one of the only reality shows I watch. That's the only thing I really watch. I mean, I like to watch House Hunters because I love watching rich white people complain about granite countertops. But
it's very addictive though. Those remodeling shows. I started watching them recently.
Oh, you watch it? I've never wanted to be a homeowner, but then if I have like a few hours in a hotel and I'm watching House Hunters, I'm like looking at my bank account, like how many more hundreds of thousands do I have to save before I can go just buy a home? It looks great.
Right now is a great time to buy, like somebody that I know, that you and I know very close and near to dear. She just bought a home in West Hollywood as well. But I can't say on the show because it's revealing personal information. But
bitch, you'll turn around and call out their Twitter feeds, but you won't say who bought a home.
Oh no, I'll talk about public shit that they post on Twitter and the internet, but it's like I'm not gonna give what their medical
somebody's home address
or the
I can't wait to find out who it is.
They have a pool.
What an amazing accomplishment for them, whoever they are. I mean, come on.
I'll tell you, it's probably a state you've probably visited.
Okay,
Stop
great.
it. No, but it's like I'm
great,
like,
though.
and for some of these queens who are like buying houses or apartments, I'm just like, girl, you're not even in that place for that long.
And the other thing too is though, like, us like doing this podcast for all these years, most of the drag queens that we've ever interviewed, it's like most of them lived like in like sleeping room only kind of things. So it's nice to see people actually making careers out of drag before, whereas like they really, really suffered in the past. And there are a lot of queens out there right now that are dirt, broke, poor, but still doing it because they love the art.
I used to take the $9 Greyhound every weekend and sleep in the same bed as Kimchi. I mean, come on, it's crazy.
I saw that bed.
But yeah, we used to sleep together in the same bed every week.
Did you guys ever spoon?
But it's great. I think I'm a country boy though. Yeah, we used to cuddle sometimes. Aww. I'm a country boy though. I think when it comes time to buy a home, I will settle down, get a husband, and move somewhere like a big city, but a smaller city, like back to Milwaukee or something.
Do you miss Milwaukee?
Well, every day. The only reason I left Milwaukee is for the amazing career opportunities I've gotten to here in Los Angeles. But I love Wisconsin. I love the Midwest. Anywhere I get to travel in the Midwest is like a treat.
Every time we go to LA, we go to at least 3 pitching meetings for something. Like it's like a mandatory thing. Like if you go to like Disney World, you go get a crazy cocktail. If you go to LA, you go to a pitching meeting for a movie or something.
Yeah, I mean, I just did a commercial. It won't be showing until next summer, but it's a big, huge campaign that will be so cool. But it doesn't come out till next summer. It's kind of a disappointment. And then I did some YouTube content here, but it's a treat. I love living here, but I didn't move because I don't like the Midwest. I mean, even Chicago. I was so close to moving to Chicago because it it really is a city that has everything, and it has the best drag in the world. I'm sorry to say.
Except you're not here, honey.
I know.
Trixie, the time has come to end this podcast. I love hearing about your adventures, and I'm so happy you're doing so well.
I love you, gentlemen. You inspire me to fall in love with someone and do what I love. So,
oh, that's so sweet. I'm looking
I hope
forward
to
to
see you guys
the
next
Mattel Trixie Mattel movie.
yeah, well, next year when I tour with my my one woman show, ages 3 and up, it'll start in Chicago and Milwaukee. So I'll get to see you guys then.
Oh, have they actually booked or looked at the venue in Chicago yet?
No, I'm working on my Milwaukee one, but I'm probably going to do Chicago as my second city.
Oh, nice. Well, we'll be there opening night, bringing you a bouquet of pink roses.
Aw.
Good. Perfect.
Just make sure that we put us on the list.
Yes. Great.
I'm looking forward to it, Trixie. Best of luck.
Oh my God. You know what? It's not luck. It's when opportunity meets hard work.
One thing that we used to ask all our guests, and we stopped doing this, but we need season 2 of Cooking with Drag Queens to get funded. Can you do a audio testimonial right now? Just like, hi kids, this is Trixie Mattel. When I'm not busy, I love Cooking with Drag Queens. Go support them on Kickstarter right now. Share it with your sugar daddy. Give us a little testimonial.
Okay. Hi guys, it's me, Trixie Mattel. When I'm not losing RuPaul's Drag Race or traveling the world, I love to sit down and watch Cooking with Drag Queen, produced by Feast of Fun, featuring the world's most exciting and cutting-edge drag. Subscribe and donate to keep this magic alive.
On Kickstarter.
On Kickstarter.
Yay! Thank
Yay.
you, Trixie Mattel.
Oh my God, you're the best.
Of course. Everybody's going to be in love with Cooking with Drag Queens as I am, so we'll be great.
You're a doll.
A real doll.
Thank you.
We love you, sweetie.
I'm a real doll. Bye, guys.
Bye. Trixie Mattel lives in West Hollywood, California. Check her out at trixiemattel.com and get yourself a Trixie Mattel hate blockers for the low price
Of $12.
$12, honey. It's a great Halloween present, and get yourself a Trixie Mattel tank top and a t-shirt. And of course, watch her episode on Cooking with Drag Queens on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/feastoffun.
Give it the thumbs up, share it with your friends, tell people about our Kickstarter project, because you might not be able to donate some money, but you probably know somebody that's a big fan of drag that could.
Yeah, and you know what you could do as a drag queen? The next show, take the tips that you get and put them in an envelope and send them to 5315 North Clark Street, number 242, Chicago, Illinois, 60640. We have PayPal, American Express will do nicely, thank you. Visa, MasterCard. Honey, we will take jugs of Tide, Bitcoin, Amazon payments, whatever you got, we will accept. Okay, because that's what kind of girls we are.
Now, why do drug dealers take jugs of Tide?
Because jugs of Tide are really hard to move around. So they're a form of alternative currency, because everybody needs to wash clothes. And for some reason, people who are broke ass like Tide. I don't know why it is, but it's a phenomena that's
like
manifested.
You can buy
itself.
drugs with Tide.
You can go. If you live like in an urban environment right now, you can get one of those, 2-gallon jugs of Tide, liquid Tide, and the orange bottle, and go bring it to your drug dealer, and he'll give you like a little rock to smoke. I don't know why that is.
Well, I guess also to
I read about it in Wired. This is not firsthand experience, okay? So don't go to your drug dealer and get into the real life Breaking Bad, and then get into trouble and blame me. So I don't know, but that's what I read on Wired, and I thought that was kind of hilarious that the people are buying drugs with jugs of Tide. And so it's such a big problem that Walmart and grocery stores that are open 24 hours a day need to hire security guards, not because people steal food to eat, but because they're sneaking into the laundry section and stealing the Tide. And maybe because it's easy to sneak out with jugs of Tide, and Tide doesn't spoil, so it's not like if you took like filet mignon to buy drugs with, the filet mignon would spoil. Whereas the liquid Tide's just going to sit there and do nothing.
Well, I bet too of those little like corner stores. It's easy to like if you're a drug dealer to go to your local corner store and be like, "Hey, I've got these. Do you want to buy them?" Because it's probably cheaper to sell them to them than someone else.
Well, it makes me think of those Ripley's Believe It or Not or National Geographic Adventures when they talk about the history of money. And the oldest money was these wagon wheels that weighed 2 tons that native villagers would put in the front lawns of their huts in order to tell the village how wealthy they were. And I was like, well, if it was like money and they just left it on the front lawn, wouldn't somebody like try to steal it? And
But they were big giant stones.
So they couldn't.
But they were wheels, so you could roll them.
That was the idea. So you know, back in the day, people didn't really think to steal a 2-ton stone. But if you like bought a bunch of sheep or goats, you'd exchange the 2-ton stone for the sheep and goats. And that's how money was invented, kids. Jugs of Tide. It all comes full circle. Or Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a fascinating technology right now. It's a form of currency that is independent of any government organization or any even central mediator.
But who's really using Bitcoin?
Lots of people are using it. And in fact, WordPress and a lot of like online stores are now accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment. And in fact, we've had listeners say, hey, I want to make a donation to you guys through Bitcoin. And I'm like, so I try to set up a Bitcoin wallet just to be able to do that. And I was like, girl, that is so complicated. I cannot get it. I cannot figure it out how to work. And of course, you know, Bitcoin's used to buy drugs on the internet too, you know, illegal shit, you know. If you want to like, I don't know, paint your neighbor's house yellow, you can do that, I guess, through Bitcoin. Did you hear about this one news story?
What?
It was a neighbor hated somebody moved in. You know, this is one of these situations where somebody moves into the house next door in the neighborhood, and the neighbor painted their house yellow, and the other neighbors are like, "Oh, I hate that color." Blah 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 blah. You know, so the guy goes on vacation who painted the house yellow, and the neighbor paid a painter to paint their house white.
While they were gone.
No, they were gone, and they came back and they were like, "What the fuck happened to my house?" You know. And you know, so it caused all sorts of problems.
Did they discover like who the neighbor was and how it happened?
Yeah, because the painting or company they came in and paid cash, and the guy was a redhead, and the security camera shows a redhead with a big stack of cash coming in. I thought it was crazy. I was like, well, I wish I had neighbors that like hated how junky or trashy my place was that came over and painted it while we were away.
That'd be real nice.
Don't wash my car, man. I got it, you know. Don't mow my lawn. I'm going on vacation right now. It's like usually neighbors just kind of like call the police on you because you're playing your Def Leppard album too loud at 3 a.m. Okay.
Who needs neighbors like that?
I want neighbors that paint my house while I'm on vacation. I don't care what color.
What if you like the color yellow?
Honey, it's a new paint job is a new paint job.
But it was just painted.
Oh, that's true.
So
my mother loves the color yellow on the outside of her home.
I heard once that yellow is the preferred color of psychotics. I don't know if that's true or not.
Bonafide.
I do like yellow. I like yellow. I can wear. Some people can wear yellow. Some people can't.
You can get away with yellow. Like Trixie Mattel. She can get away with yellow. I cannot do yellow or pink. I look sickly. I look like I have like anemia.
I can do pink. I can do yellow. I can pretty much wear any color.
What is that? I'm a winter and you're a summer.
I think I'm autumn or winter.
You're an autumn.
Maybe I'm summer. Winter.
Those are referring to what kind of colors you look good in. So, like, if you look good in bold, bright colors and dark colors, then you're a winter. If you look good in autumnal tones, you're an autumn. If you look good in spring colors, pastels, and then you're a spring. And what would be a summer? I guess if you look good in a towel.
I don't know. I suppose we could Google this. And
Hey guys, remember, Feast of Fun is made possible because of generous support of fabulous people like you. We got some fantastic drag queen inspired t-shirts at our store, feastoffun.com/store.
Get your Hunty t-shirt or your Reading is Fundamental t-shirt. You heard Trixie talk about it. She loves wearing it. It is purple and it will look fantastic on you.
And your Shantae t-shirt for the girls with a little charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. That spells out cunt if you didn't notice.
Or your not shaving gives me more time for misbehaving, because now bearded queens are on the rise and you can be a fabulous queen and not shave and still look good.
And if you like the show, we made it available for free, so share it with your friends on social media. Post it on Twitter land, Facebook land, all the lands across the land. Shout out to T.S. Madison for that little reference there. Guys, we love you so much, and we love to be able to do this show for you guys. We thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts, and thank Trixie Mattel for being an awesome guest and faithful listener. And she actually listens to the podcast.
Oh, I know.
While she travels.
I know. A lot of drag queens do. A lot of drag queens listen while they travel, and a lot of them do it while they put their makeup on.
It's a good...
Or make costumes.
Yeah, so they're like sewing, and they're like want something to fill the space.
Because you can only listen to Beyonce so much before you're like, I need to listen to something that's going to entertain me and make me think.
I could listen to Beyonce for years on end. In fact, I like Beyonce and Lady Gaga so much, I listen to their music at the same time. Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.